Okay, first of all, I will recap briefly what we went over on the previous episode, the liquor store versus the ATM footage, and our ongoing dissections of the Oxygen Network's so-called documentary, The Disappearance of Maura Murray. If you haven't listened to the previous episode, make sure you check that out. Make sure you check out the other episodes. I will be constantly referencing information in previous episodes. So, plenty of speculation abound on whether or not it was Maura in the released ATM footage. What day was the ATM footage truly from? And was it doctored in any manner? And who is the individual in the liquor store footage? So, Christine Penny is who is credited as being Maura Murray in the reenactments. But it's not clear who is in the liquor store footage because it doesn't look like her. So I actually contacted Christine Penny via email, and she was actually nice enough to give me a lot of information about shooting with the Oxygen Network. And as a preface here, I will say, again, my subjective opinion, she has nothing to do with the cover-up, and she did not know anything about the cover-up, and she thought the Oxygen show was on the up and up. I mean, as pretty much all of us probably did at the beginning. I mean, critical thinking, so-called conspiracy theorists, those that can employ logic and reason, we're not afraid to admit when we've been hoodwinked. The Oxygen show seemed legitimate from the outset, and Christine Penny thought that as well, and throughout her participation, she thought that. I believe she still has a high opinion of Art and Maggie, and she seems like a very, very nice and professional person. So, and often these really nice, professional, good-hearted people, why would they assume these individuals are lying or corrupt? Because if they're good themselves, they naturally would assume most people are good as well. So clearly we can't hold anything against Christine Penny. And again, just to clarify, I do not believe she's complicit in any way to any part of the cover-up. If she were, I do not believe she would have volunteered the information that she did. So here is her email response to me. I simply asked her if it was her in the liquor store footage, and if she had shot anything else other than the reenactments by the Saturn with the bus, and any kind of interesting notes she may have had about shooting the series. Here is her response. Hey Bruce, thanks for reaching out. In fact, yes, we did the reenactment at the actual liquor store near UMass Amherst, as well as took footage of me driving to the liquor store, walking around various places on campus, and a number of takes at the ATM withdrawing cash. Let me repeat that last part. And a number of takes at the ATM withdrawing cash. I don't believe the security footage was me. That might have been real, but nearly all the rest was. So, let me say this. Let me read that last part again. I don't believe the security footage was me. That might have been real. So she was under the impression that the security footage at the liquor store was real. And again, so was I. When I first saw the preview of the Oxygen series, I believed that as well, and so did most people. We did not initially just assume it was all reenactment, just because it was just quick cuts. Obviously, it's impossible to tell for sure. But at least theoretically, we believed it could have been real, because if they were going to release the ATM footage, why not release the liquor store footage? So she believes it may have been real as well. That might have been real. She says she doesn't believe the security footage was her. So I'm not sure why she didn't outright state it wasn't me. Maybe she thinks the footage was doctored or edited to make it look different, because she did say they shot the footage in the actual liquor store. She said, we did the reenactment of the actual liquor store near UMass. So they did shoot her in the liquor store, but apparently the final footage is not her, or she believes it was not her. So if it wasn't doctored, obviously she'd be able to tell it was her. So it's either not her at all and some other unnamed actress. It doesn't look like Maggie either. So it's an unknown individual. I postulated the theory maybe it's Maura Murray. But I don't know. If it's not real, that doesn't look like Maura either, but neither does the ATM. And she also said she did the ATM footage as well. So there's just so many more questions on why none of it was used and why so much of it was either doctored or just completely alternative footage used. Continuing on here, they didn't include two big sections of footage that we filmed in New Hampshire, if I remember correctly. One was me running down the road in darkness away from the crash and meeting a single car along the way. It was 2 a.m. and even though I was surrounded by filmmakers, I was terrified. No other life experience ever scared me quite like those remote New Hampshire woods. I'm from Vermont, so I'm really used to the woods at night, but something about that place really gave me the creeps that I'll never forget. And that's curious too. Is it simply because she was assuming Maura was at that location and was abducted from that location and that made it creepier? Or was she just picking up some vibe, some local vibe of some shady business going on in the area? Again, we have minutes from these town meetings in Haverhill about human trafficking problems that the coincidence theories all want to hallucinate don't exist. In this small little hamlet with a tiny population that seems to have all these violent crimes and murders and human trafficking. I mean, it's really crazy. It's crazy. Continuing on here, the other, regarding another reenactment that wasn't used, the other was me getting dragged into a car after trying to run away from a stopped car at the crash. Also terrifying, though entirely acted by both a really nice sound guy they put in last minute, I believe, and me. So how much of a professional outfit is this? So they can't even get another guy. They have to use the sound guy to be in the scenes. I mean, they even asked John Smith to be Butch Atwood. I mean, what kind of production is this? I mean, I don't know. It just seems kind of strange to me that something on a major network, I mean, it's not like this was some like super low budget indie with no backing and no budget where it would be understandable if they just got some of the crew to stand in. I mean, that's just an interesting note as well. Continuing on, I hope I never have to experience an act of violence like that again. We filmed it twice and they asked me to work incredibly hard to struggle silently, it was midnight out there, and not allow myself to get dragged into a stopped car. Order of events, car stops to talk, I say no thank you, I start running away, car driver jumps out, chases me down, driver grabs me and drags me back to the car, where he somehow successfully gets me in the car. We stopped filming once I was partially in. Hope that gives you some stuff to go on. We filmed both at the crash site in New Hampshire as well as at and surrounding UMass Amherst, including plenty of liquor store footage. So not just one or two shots, she's explicitly stating here, plenty of liquor store footage. Also, every time you see the car being driven, that's me driving. It was really fun to simulate the stunt of the beginning of the crash. Only one cameraman was in the backseat of the car. We did a few takes as I skidded purposefully around the corner. That was really fun. I got plenty more little things from behind the scenes. Okay. Thanks so much for reaching out. Feel free to be in touch anytime. Sincerely, Christine Penny. Okay, so very helpful, seemingly very genuine, unlike a lot of these other individuals involved in the Oxygen show. So I followed up giving her a little bit more information because I guess she hadn't listened to the podcast. And obviously I asked her if she didn't want me to read her email, she could let me know. And obviously I would not read it. I would be respectful of her wishes. She did not tell me that I could not read it, or she actually didn't get in contact with me. She didn't respond at all. So obviously I told her to if she didn't want me to read it. She didn't. So I guess she doesn't have a problem with it being read. But I also asked her what she thought happened in her opinion. And I also asked her if any of the production team shared with her their own theories. obviously I was trying to get at, I mean, it still wouldn't be clear because at the time they were shooting the Oxygen documentary, it may have been very possible to everybody. I mean, Art Roderick and maybe one or two of the producers of the series that happened to go to UMass coincidentally. Other than those individuals, it's probably likely that 99.9% of the cast and crew had no idea this was going to be a propaganda piece to dispel any kind of attention going in the direction of law enforcement malfeasance or complicity of any kind. So Art Roderick openly stated that they needed to put the conspiracy theory, the law enforcement conspiracy theories to bed. That was the objective. Not truth, not justice for Maura, but to put the law enforcement conspiracies to bed. That's what he said at a Q&A. I went over that on the logical analysis of Art and Maggie. Maggie, I still believe, possibly might have simply been hoodwinked, and she genuinely does believe the project was legitimate, and she was trying to help find the truth. So I just asked Christine if she had any insight into their theories. She did not respond. Possibly she either listened to the podcast and did not like the questioning of any official sources. Many people are like that. Many good-hearted people are like that. Good-hearted coincidence theorists who just can't believe that there's any kind of conspiracy in the world. It's just too mentally uncomfortable. And that's fine. That's their prerogative. They can live their life any way they want. Or she maybe asked Maggie about the MINDSHOCK podcast. And I can only imagine what Maggie would have said. So that is the Christine Penny email. So, again, very genuine, seemingly hard worker. I'm sure she's great on all her projects, and she seemed very genuine and honest when offering the information. So, they did shoot a bunch of liquor store reenactment footage. Supposedly, none of it was used. What does that tell us? I mean, that's really, really curious. I mean, I don't know what to make of that. It's really, really bizarre. Because we still don't know who the individual in the liquor store footage is. I mean, it's just really weird. And obviously we know the Oxygen documentary is not an up-and-up documentary. It's just a propaganda piece. So we also can't assume, was it always intended to be a propaganda piece? Or was it turned into such after the fact with maybe only Art Roderick and one or two of the producers in the know that that is what it would become? So in editing, of course, they edited it in a way to suit their narrative and try to shut down any kind of logical inquiry from John Smith or James Renner or anyone questioning the official narrative in any way. So, yeah, really, really weird. Really, really, really weird. And it's kind of hard not to feel bad for the people involved in the Oxygen documentary, like Christine Penny and some of the other actors and crew. They think they're making a legitimate documentary to bring attention to a case and bring forth truth and justice, which, of course, they did bring attention through it, but in a very dishonest and unethical manner in this type of propaganda piece. So, yeah, there's that aspect to it as well.